Today's video is going to be an ultimate beginner's guide to gears.
Welcome back to SciRanch.
Gears are some of the most useful components you can get. They go really well with motors, and you can make motors faster or stronger. But, of course, there is a trade-off. It's a double-edged sword. You can also use them in a lot of other mechanical applications. So, let's get started. Our first part is going to be about gear ratios. Now, let's look at some gear ratios. This gear has 13 teeth, and this gear has 9 teeth. They normally would interlock together like this. Now, this gear ratio is going to be 13 to 9 because there are 13 teeth on the first one and 9 on the second one. Now, what's important to notice about this is that, let's say we rotate this one full rotation. If you imagine this being rotated at the same time, then this is actually going to spin more times than this is in one revolution. That is why this one will go faster, but it will have less power. That's where the trade-off is. So, if you're trying to make a motor faster, you might start with a bigger gear and have a smaller gear at the end. And that is going to make it go faster. But if you really want it strong, you're going to start with a smaller gear and eventually work your way up to a much larger gear, which is going to make it slower, but much stronger. Before I talk about gear ratios with multiple gears, make sure to subscribe. It's really, really helpful to me. Alright, now let's continue. Now, we're going to talk about what happens when we have more than 2 gears. Now, there are 3 different types of gears in this situation. We have this one. This is the drive gear. This is what's being powered by the motor, and what's controlling this entire chain of gears. On this side, we have our driven gear, which is being turned by this entire chain of gears. And finally, we have however many gears we have in the middle. These are all idler gears. We could have 2, 3, 4, or 0. Doesn't really matter. These are not going to affect the gear ratio. These are going to affect the direction. So for example, if I didn't have this, then this one, if this rotated clockwise, then this one would rotate counterclockwise. But this one will switch that so that this one would also rotate the same direction. Now, you can have as many idler gears as we want, but that's not what we're going to talk about right now. Now, this gear has 18 teeth. This gear has 9 teeth. What we're going to do is we're going to divide this amount, which is 9 teeth, by this amount, which is 18. If we do that, we'll see that that simplifies to 1/2, which means that for every 1 rotation of this large gear, we will get 2 rotations for this small gear. That's how that gear ratio system is calculated. So, if we had different gear ratios, you can calculate all of them like an expert. Now, let's talk about where you can purchase gears. These, as you can see, I've 3D printed. But you can also purchase these online from different stores or at any local hardware store, or really wherever you go. I'll put some links to Amazon and also to the Thingiverse files for different types of gears, but you can also make these very easily in CAD. So, gears are very useful, they're easy to come by. There's really no reason not to use them. So, have a fun time making stuff with gears. Alright guys, since you guys watched this video all the way to the end, before you go, make sure to subscribe. Not only do I make videos like this, I also make videos about electronics, organizing, 3D prints, and how you can implement 3D printing and other just generally fun stuff into your electronics and maker workflow. So make sure to subscribe for that. Also, if you really liked this, make sure to share it too. Subscribing and sharing is super, super helpful for me and really any creator. So if you do that, I'll be very appreciative. Thanks.